This video is sponsored by Squarespace. All right, what's going on, guys? Dan Watson. Hope you guys are doing amazing. If you haven't actually checked out my actual hands-on video with the GH5 II, definitely go check it out because I go over everything that's new with this camera, features, tests, my impressions. I will link to it up there, but obviously subscribe, turn on notifications, you'll get notified next time, so that would be awesome. In using this camera for the past couple of weeks, I've learned a bunch of new hacks, features, tips, tricks, whatever you want to call them, about this camera that I really think will help you maximize it. If you haven't bought it yet, it might even make you want one a little bit more. So definitely let's check this out. Please like, guys, and let's get into the GH5 II. All right, so first up on the list is a new feature. We actually got a brand new battery with this camera that is allowing USB-C charging and power. And there's a couple things that are really cool about this. First of all, if you are charging or actually running your camera via USB-C and you yank the cable out or whatever, that battery supply goes dead, it will now switch to the internal battery even while recording, so there's no interruption at all in actually shooting with this thing. But also, do keep in mind that if you power this with 9 volts, 3 amps, you can completely run off of that USB-C battery and not use up any of the internal battery. Another really cool solution I like is this right here is an NPF battery from Ziller, I think it's just ZILR. This has a USB-C charging port in it. So what you can do is not only can I use these to power my lights or whatever else, and these are really compact, you can actually press a button here and see your battery life left, but you can actually plug this in USB-C straight into the camera and charge or power the camera directly from this. This is absolutely incredible because there's a lot of accessories that you can just use this and connect it to the camera itself, or these are just great for having around. Now this isn't quite 9 volts to 3 amps, it is 9 volt 2 amps, or it can differ up the voltage in amps depending on what the camera needs. I have found that when I'm shooting, as long as I'm not going crazy on the camera, max brightness, everything else, I have no problem using this to completely power the camera or charge the camera. Actually, I charged it last night via this. This is now a 75% battery and the camera's at 100%. That kind of makes sense because this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery and these are about 2,200. So you can get about 4 full charges of this right from this battery right here. So this is a really cool accessory, guys, if you want to use it. But anything that is USB-C powered by at least 9 volts, 3 amps will completely power or charge this camera. So probably one of the worst things about this camera was how it responds in continuous autofocus. But one of the best things about this camera is just how easy and how many assists there are for manually focusing. One of my favorites actually controls the lens itself. So what you need to do is go into your custom menu right here. It's a little gear icon. Go into that, go to the very bottom for your lens controls, and you will see focus ring control. Click on that. So what happens is that most of these lenses are focused by wire. So the faster that you actually change this focus wheel right here, the faster it will respond. And if you do it slowly, it will respond slowly, but it's not linear. So one thing I wanted to do is go in and change it from non-linear to linear. This makes it so much better for trying to do focus pulls, or if you're just shooting in manual focus, that's awesome. However, if you go down to set, this allows you to actually set how many degrees you will have to twist this before it manually focuses from infinity to close up. And that is huge. So first of all, if I am doing focus pulls and I'm shooting slow motion, I might want to do a very quick focus pull. So I'll set it to like 90 degrees. And if I'm wanting to do a very slow, gradual focus pull, I will set it to maybe something like 120 on there. And that will allow it to basically, now I have to turn it 120 degrees before it completes that focus pull. The other thing is if you're shooting a subject manual focus and the subject really isn't changing how close or how far they are by too much, changing this to be able to do like 360 degrees for a full focus pull means that you can make some really cool micro adjustments with small turns on this. So that is so much more helpful to make sure that you don't just randomly go crazy out of focus by twisting it a little too much. You can make small adjustments to this and it will respond very slowly. So this is absolutely insane. If you're ever using manual focus for focus pulls or just to focus on a subject, this control is awesome. Now, if you are brand new to this camera, probably one of the first things you'll notice is it has a freaking ton of different record modes that you can do this in, from 6K anamorphic all the way to 1080p and below. It is just insane how many different options there are in this with 8-bit, 10-bit. We've even added some new ones with the GH5 II. So there are two things that you can do. One is display filtering. So you can basically click on that, change it to anything at 60 frames per second or 24 or a different codec or anything like that. But what I do is there's an add to list option. So basically you go up to your favorite ones, click add to list, and then they will be, if you go into like your image formats, you'll see record quality, my list. Only the items that you have put in there will appear in this list, and this really helps narrow down your choices. What I also like is you can actually map this control or use it in your queue menu. So the first thing I have is record quality, my list. So immediately I can just change these options very easily, and I don't have to worry about going into this huge setup. It allows me to change all my frame rate options and 8-bit to 10-bit or whatever else you're shooting really quickly, really easily. This is one of the first things that you should do when setting up your camera, and it will make things so much better for you. So before we get to this next one though, shout out to Squarespace for supporting creators like me. I've been using them for my websites for a couple of years now. If you guys need something new, or maybe you were just like me and needed to refresh yours with new tools and scheduling and being able to sell products, go ahead and check them out. So obviously Squarespace makes it crazy easy to build a new site with templates, customizable blocks for adding in new content, and even the ability to search through thousands of images to help you get started. And there are just some insane tools for photographers and videographers, from custom galleries that allow you to password protect them for sharing privately with clients, and the ability to add in e-commerce to be able to sell your products online as well. I was able to upload my camera guides so I could sell them straight through my site in just a matter of minutes. There's also a full scheduling system, so you can actually have your clients sign up directly for their sessions online. So go ahead and check them out, guys. It's completely free to get started. Just use my coupon code LearningCameras when you build something awesome, and you can go live with that site today. All right, so here's another feature that I wish every camera in existence, especially even my drones, had a feature like this. I actually have an entire video kind of explaining, I'll link to it here if it's done, about how this works and why it is so important. But if we go into our basic record modes on here, you will see this image area of video. I don't think it's the best explanation, but if you hit display, it will actually tell you a little bit more what it is. It's kind of like a help mode on there. So click on image area of video, and you can choose between full and pixel for pixel. And what this does is the camera itself, I believe it's a 20 megapixel camera, it doesn't use all of those pixels in order to shoot 4K. So it oversamples those pixels. But what if we wanted to do a little bit of crop? We can actually select pixel for pixel, so it will only use whatever pixels it needs for 4K, and that will allow you to punch in a little bit. It's kind of like an APS-C crop on here, although obviously you're micro four thirds, so you're cropping a sensor even more. So it's basically a sensor crop, but this makes so much more sense what it is doing. You know you'll still get amazing quality in this mode because it is a full pixel readout when using it. So if you need to get a little bit more crop, select that pixel per pixel. This is extremely useful when you need to get a little bit more extra reach from those lenses. So now let's talk about custom modes. And this is something, if you're not using yet, you will definitely want to use on your camera, especially the GH5 II, because there are just so many different settings in this camera. Being able to control them all individually is really awesome. So if you notice on the top of your camera, you have a C1, C2, C3, C4 button. There are a couple different things that we can do on this. So basically what we need to do is go into that gear icon for our settings. We're going to go into the first gear icon in that settings menu, and you will see all of your custom settings. So save to custom mode, load to custom mode settings. The first thing that we probably want to do is go into our custom mode settings. You will see that you have the option to limit the number of custom modes. So what happens is if you switch to C4, you can get additional settings on this, actually an additional 10 different settings on this. Now what you need to do is set the camera up into your normal video mode, set it up exactly how you want to configure it for this new setting on here. So if I want one to be 4K 60, then I can go ahead and set the camera into 4K 60, set my aperture, shutter speed, whatever picture profiles you like, and then go ahead and click Save to Custom Mode. This is where you can see not only the C1, C2, C3, but you will also see C4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whatever else, however many options you've left in the menu itself. So this is really cool. You can save those to any one of those. So now if you switch to C4 on your dial, anytime you hit this menu button, you will bring up a dialog that allows you to change these modes. And this is how quick it is. You're literally going to be shooting with the camera in 4K 24, click menu, go to number 2, and now you'll be in 4K 60. You can have it changing picture profiles, your autofocus settings, because maybe when you're shooting in slow motion, I like to speed up my autofocus to be able to change faster, because usually I'm moving faster because I know that I'm going to be able to slow this down in post. So a lot of things can change. I'll show you one kind of secret one that I have set up there. You can also do this for photo or video. You can store these into these settings, so it makes it really quick for switching between photo and video. But yeah, really cool. I love this C4 option right here and configuring up to 10 additional options that you don't have to manually switch this dial for. And you can just pop in there, hit menu, boom, you're in the next one. Literally 2 seconds, guys. All right, next one is a quick one, but please tell me I'm not the only person that thought I was recording something and really wasn't, because the recording indicator on these camera screens is freaking small. It is so difficult to see. I all the time question if I'm recording or not and have to look at it. So go into your custom settings, that little gear icon. You're gonna go to the back camera, the second different one for monitor display, and you'll see something called record or red record frame indicator. Turn that to on. Every time you record now, you will see red lines around your frame. Even from far away, I can see that I'm recording. So it's very easy for me to just look at the back of the camera, make sure I'm recording, make sure everything is going well. If the camera ever shuts off, I'm more likely to notice this change on here. So this is huge. It's not the first camera. I think they might have even had it in the previous GH5. I can't remember, but this is something that has saved me before, and hopefully it'll save you as well. All right, this next one is one of my favorites, and basically this is a 4K camera on here. However, it does have this 6K anamorphic option. It shoots in 4:3, which is not typically the format we shoot for video, but definitely check this out. So go into your record quality settings right here, and at the very top, you will see 6K at 24 10-bit, or 6K at 30p 10-bit as well. So I personally shoot 6K 24. However, I use this a lot, and there are a couple of reasons why. So first of all, click on that. The other thing that you can do is set guides on your frame. So you're gonna wanna do this, so you can go into your settings as well and go down to some of your different overlay options, and you can set frame marker, and you can click on set, and we can set it to 16:9. You can also change your frame color and the mask. I like to keep the area that I'm really not focused on masked out, so I typically have mine set to about 75%. However, what is really cool with this is that now you're recording the same width as typical 4K, but you're getting extra resolution on the top and the bottom. And there are 2 reasons I do this. One is the ability to crop or reframe in post. So basically, I have a little bit more headroom if I want to make adjustments in post, or I have a little bit more body room. The other thing that's really cool is that a lot of times I have to reframe for Instagram or social media with a vertical crop. So having this additional vertical resolution means that if I have to make one video and also make an IG vertical frame edit for it, I have more resolution on the top bottom that I recorded, and it's all here. So when I need to reframe for that kind of shoot, it's all there, it's maximized. You're still getting the exact same resolution on the width, so the full 4K image, you're just getting that extra 2K on the top and the bottom. So more resolution in there, it edits well, full 10-bit on this one. So it's a great way to do it. Turn on those indicators so you know exactly what you're recording on, and the 6K anamorphic option is a really good mode to record in. Another thing I do is save this to my custom mode. So if I go into C4 and I click menu and I go to C4.1, boom, that is my 6K option on there. I have the frame guides turned on. If I go back to my normal modes or to any other C4.2, all of a sudden I am back in 16:9 and my frame guides are off. So this is another way that I use my custom modes on here, because again, all those frame guides, I don't want them if I'm shooting 16:9 or 17:9, but I do want them when I'm shooting this 4:3 in anamorphic mode. So this is a great way to do it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Got some shoots coming up with this camera. Stay tuned. If you want to see anything specific, let me know. Also on IG, I'm posting all kinds of BTS and stuff like that, so follow me there. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you soon in a new video.